right away we know this is a live signature. So that's a good thing. It's actual ink on the item, and he actually signed it, as opposed to being printed or being reproduced.
Is there like a title to this?
The name is called The Child.
The episode opens with Rick lecturing everyone about the economics of avocados. Did you know 80 million avocados are sold for Cinco de Mayo? He brags. Corey, deadpan as ever, fires back, "Why do you even know that?" Rick proudly answers, "Because I read." Chumley jumps in, hyped for a party. Margarita machine, sombreros, piñatas filled with candy. Rick groans, "No, with money." Leave it to this crew to turn a Mexican holiday into a crash course on agriculture and poor decision-making.
Did you know that on Cinco de Mayo is like the biggest day for avocados of the year? They sell like 80 million avocados for Cinco de Mayo.
Why do you know that?
Don't you read?
Not about avocados, no.
Rick can't resist turning the party talk into a history lecture. He starts explaining how the French invaded Mexico over unpaid debts, only to get their butts kicked in Puebla. Chumley interrupts, "I thought we were having a party, not a history lesson." Rick announces it'll be at the shop on Cinco de Mayo. Chum's thrilled, but Corey, half asleep, asks, "When's Cinco de Mayo?" The collective silence says it all. The Pawn Stars just failed basic Spanish holidays.
To collect on some debts. A well-trained military, and they ended up whooping on the French.
I thought we were having a party, not a history lesson.
Next, Rick's day gets a lot more interesting when a man strolls in holding a supposed Claude Monet painting. The seller explains he got it as collateral for a loan, but the borrower died. Talk about awkward inheritance. Rick asks where it came from, and the guy confidently says, "It's real." The museum even insured it for $2.1 million. Rick's eyebrows nearly hit the ceiling. If this is genuine, it's the biggest score in Pawn Stars history.
Hey, how's it going? What do we have here?
Well, it's a...
Okay.
No, this is the actual guy.
Where in the hell did you get this?
Collateral for a loan.
Rick examines the piece, pointing out Monet's signature impressionist brushstrokes. A little blurry, but full of depth. He reads through the provenance documents and learns it was displayed at the Las Vegas Museum of Fine Arts in 1997. Rick mutters, "I've bought $100,000 items, but never millions." He admits he's out of his league and calls in his art expert, Brett. The seller grins, dreaming of walking out with 7 figures.
Worth in the neighborhood of $2 to $3 million.
That when it was done, when it was painted?
I
Is
don't.
there a title to it?
I don't.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Corey takes over as a seller brings in a fire truck water cannon from the early 1900s. The guy bought it at auction to water his hillside. Corey raises an eyebrow. "You couldn't just use a hose." They both laugh. The seller wants $700, but Corey offers $600 after a quick history lesson about how firefighters replaced bucket brigades with these beasts. They shake on it, and the man leaves saying, "I'll miss it." "Yeah, sure."
Well, I picked it up at an auction. I'm hoping to get at least $700. I think it's probably 90 years old.
Then a man walks in with Volkswagen silver ingots. Chumley can't resist roasting Corey. "Didn't you want a banana yellow beetle with surf racks?" Corey groans, "Don't remind me." The seller explains the bars commemorate VW's 25th US anniversary, weighing 2 ounces each. He wants $100 apiece, but Corey's not buying the hype. "It's silver, not magic," he says. Silver's worth $20 an ounce, so he offers $160 total. The seller sighs and takes the deal.
Commemorative of the 25th anniversary of Volkswagen selling vehicles in the U.S. market.
I remember you used to dream about having a Beetle. What did you want it, like banana yellow with a surfboard rack on it or something?
Yeah,
Really bad. That's all he would talk about.
Back to Rick, who's still geeking out over the Monet. Art expert Brett arrives, practically glowing. This could be a $5 million painting. He examines the texture, the brushwork, and the palette, but a few red flags appear. There's not much texture, and the colors seem duller than Monet's usual rainbow palette. Brett plays it safe. "Let's get a second opinion." Rick agrees, muttering, "For $5 million, I want more than one opinion."
They say early period, which is very vague. I mean, he lived a very long life, early period. It doesn't really tell you a whole lot to time. So this may have been a piece, perhaps as a study to another piece.
Meanwhile, Chumley and Corey hatch a plan: how to throw a Cinco de Mayo party without Rick. "He's just gonna lecture us all day," Chum complains. The old man agrees, declaring, "If we're gonna have a party, I'm going big. A pitcher of margaritas. For me, Corey suggests telling Rick there's a history conference out of town." "Good," the old man says. "I don't want to hear about no Battle of Puebla. The Pawn Stars are officially planning a mutiny."
Just gonna spit out facts all day. You wanna party?
Family, Rick can't be a damn bore. Just explain to him we don't want him there.
The second art expert, Gerard, shows up to inspect the Monet. He's brutally thorough. If this is real, it must be 150 years old. So, where are the cracks? He points out the paint is too smooth, the shadows too flat, and the back too clean. After a tense pause, he delivers the death blow. It is not by Claude Monet. Rick deflates like a punctured balloon. The seller's crushed. You're 200% sure? Gerard nods. Brutal Honesty Art Edition.
Painter from the art, Monet is known for that quality. Be 150 years old, so we should at least see cracks.
Rick admits, usually when it's too good to be true, it is. The seller leaves disappointed but grateful. Rick sighs. Better him than me, paying millions for a fake. He's barely recovered before Chum yells, "Time to party!" Rick, suspicious but excited, grabs his sombrero and tequila bottle. What could possibly go wrong?
Too flat.
Wow, really? Not real.
Not real.
Ugh.
Usually when it's too good to be true, it generally is.
Well, that's disappointing.
Rick arrives at the shop's back lot, ready for fiesta time. He looks around. Empty. No decorations, no people, no music. Just tumbleweeds and disappointment. He calls Corey. "Where is everybody?" Corey doesn't answer. Then he finds a sign taped to a chair. "People are interested in the historical aspect of the holidays, so we went to a bar. Enjoy your fun facts." Rick stares into the void. Betrayal, Pawn Star style.
The guys told me the party was going to be at the shop, 5 p.m. in the back lot. Where the hell's everybody at?
He calls again. Chumley picks up, slurring, "We're celebrating, boss. You should see the piñata." Rick demands the location, but all he hears is laughter, mariachi music, and someone yelling, "Steal the tequila!" Rick mutters, "I paid for this party," and storms off. Somewhere in Vegas, 3 grown men are sipping margaritas and hiding from their history-loving boss.
Guys, I'm the one who paid for this party. Where is it at?
Why don't you read some fun facts about how to find us? Grandpa just stole a bottle of tequila from the waitress. Gotta go. All right, love you, bye.
Corey.
Hey boys, guess what?
What's up, Grandpa?
This weekend we'll ride up to Ely and ride to
I'm not ever gonna go ride
your grandpa.
Imagine waking up only for Rick Harrison to announce he's throwing his first ever garage sale. Yep, the man who buys everything now wants to sell it all: skateboards, shoes, and even a blender. Of course, when he asks for help, the guys suddenly get busy. Corey's rewinding VHS tapes, Chumley's changing oil, classic avoidance maneuvers. Rick's face says it all. Family comes first, except when it's time to haul junk. Talk about family love at its finest.
How's it going? What do you have today?
It is a Winchester Model 8 Henry rifle.
A damn Yankee gun.
Then walks in Rob, clutching a Winchester Model 1860 Henry rifle like it's a sacred relic. Rick's eyes widen. This isn't just any gun, it's the load on Sunday, shoot till Thursday Yankee gun. Rob wants $40,000, calling it fair. Fair? That's half a Tesla. Rick examines it with the focus of Indiana Jones reading hieroglyphs, instantly spotting worn rifling. Translation: this beauty's been fired a few thousand times. Things are about to get spicy.
This was an incredible 28 rounds a minute with this gun, okay? A muzzle-loading gun, depending on up to 6, because remember, you have to pour everything down the barrel.
Rick starts negotiating, but Rob stands firm. 40 grand, he repeats like he's selling the crown jewels. Rick fires back with 20,000, a 50% discount right out the gate. Rob's expression could curdle milk. The awkward silence, legendary. You could cut this tension with a knife. Rick, realizing this man's not budging, shrugs and says, "Shop around." Translation: I'll be here when reality hits. I swear, Rick could sell ice to Eskimos, but still won't overpay for history.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. I've been told these are a couple dinosaur eggs.
How do we know they're dinosaur eggs?
That I don't know. I didn't live back then.
Next up, Corey meets a guy carrying what looks like a pair of river rocks. But wait, she claims they're dinosaur eggs. Cue dramatic Jurassic Park music. The woman wants $20,000. Corey's skeptical but intrigued, mainly because, if they're real, he's looking at prehistoric profit. She jokes that Nicolas Cage once spent $1 million on a T-Rex skull, so hey, anything's possible. Still, Corey wisely calls in an expert. Can anyone else feel that fossil-fueled tension rising?
A woman brought in what she says are dinosaurs.
dinosaur eggs. There can definitely be a market for them, but you can't tell what they are by just looking at them. So I called up my buddy Tom to help me sort it out.
Enter Tom, the paleontologist with a magnifier and the confidence of a man who's cracked open millions of years of dirt. He inspects the eggs like a CSI tech on a crime scene, pointing out shell thickness and sediment layers. Verdict? They're real. Cue Corey's silent internal victory dance. But plot twist, the two eggs were glued together to look like a pair. Talk about prehistoric catfishing. Tom explains they're genuine but mismatched, killing half the value instantly. Brutal.
These are absolutely original eggs.
Wow, that's cool.
These are 70 to 80 million years. That indicates this egg of stone, trying to make it look like it's a pair of dinosaur eggs.
Turns out these duck-billed dinosaur eggs are ancient, but not exactly treasure. Tom explains they flooded the market in the 90s, and now they're worth about $300 to $600 each. Corey's $20,000 dream just fossilized before his eyes. The seller's jaw drops harder than a meteor. Still, Corey stays cool, offering $400 total. The seller pushes for $800, but Corey won't budge. After some prehistoric haggling, they settle at $500. Drama, negotiation, and dinosaurs. Pawn Stars bingo complete.
Something that is a focal point in any conversation. Have a dinosaur egg on your coffee table, and you've got friends.
Between $400 and $600 a piece.
Meanwhile, Rick gears up for his big garage sale. He's pricing everything from TVs to random knickknacks and somehow trying to upsell broken electronics. The man's in full salesman mode, offering free fly swatters with purchase. Can't lie, that's the kind of marketing that made him millions.
Would you sell these as a set? I'll give you the fly swatter for free if you buy those, man.
Really?
Yeah. That's picture 75. Rick, what are you doing here?
Then, in struts Chum Lee, eyes twinkling with mischief, pretending to check out the sale. Translation: he's here to mock Rick. He spots vintage wrestling toys, Rowdy Roddy Piper, Hulk Hogan, the works. Chumley immediately claims Rick's trying to lowball him. The verbal sparring begins. Rick's doing mental math. Chum's defending childhood nostalgia. Take it or leave it. $50, Chum declares. Rick, amused, pays up. Little does Chum know, he just sold gold for pocket change. Oh, the irony.
This is old.
It's old wooden Coke and Barber chair.
So you cut hair?
Yes, I'm a barber. Now, if you want.
What?
Next up, a barber strolls in with a wooden 1800s Coke and Barber chair, looking like it time-traveled straight from a saloon. He wants $5 grand. Rick leans in, instantly intrigued. The hydraulics work? Sort of. The upholstery? A disaster. Rick calls in restoration expert Bob because, as we know, if there's polishing to do, Rick's not doing it. The barber argues against refurbishing it, calling it a diamond in the rough. Rick's response: yeah, we're gonna make it not rough. Savage.
A guy brought in an old Coke and Barber chair. It's still in pretty rough. Bob, who works on these things,
Bob arrives and instantly starts planning a total makeover. New black leather, replating chrome, fixing hydraulics. The man's describing this chair like he's talking about a luxury sports car. Rick nods approvingly, but you can see him mentally adding dollar signs. Bob quotes $2,500 for restoration, predicting a resale of up to $6,000 once it's pristine. Rick's gears are turning faster than the chair's hydraulic pump. Time for some good old-fashioned haggling.
all right, man, I'll give you a call if I get it.
Okay, good enough, Rick. Nice to meet you. This one is in extremely nice condition.
Rick offers $1,500. The seller laughs. He wants $5,000. Rick ups it to $2,000, arguing there's barely room for profit after restoration costs. The tension is real. Back and forth they go, like two barbers fighting over who gets the next customer. The seller drops to $3,500. Rick stays firm. Finally, they call it quits. No deal, just mutual disappointment and a mutual understanding that Rick's profit margins don't lie. Talk about a close shave.
Oh, sweet. Roddy Piper.
That's right.
You got him for sale. For how much?
$500.
You gave me $50 for him.
Just when you think the episode's winding down, Chum Lee pops up again, smug as ever. Remember those wrestling toys he sold Rick for $50? He's now reselling them for $500. Rick strolls over, grinning like a cat who caught the world's dumbest mouse. He breaks down the history, how the 1985 wrestling ring was a collector's item. Chum Lee stands there realizing he might have just funded Rick's next canon. Comedy gold, classic Pawn Stars chaos.
Chum, where's the keys for these showcases?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? You're the last one with them. I saw you over here.
I lost them.
I didn't lose them, but...
We open with pure Chumley chaos. He's lost the shop's showcase keys. Rick's instantly fuming, and Corey's caught in the crossfire. You'd lose your ass if it wasn't attached, Rick snaps, and Chumley just grins. Guess I'm lucky then. Classic. You can already tell this episode's gonna be a circus. The man literally lost the keys to the business. It's like forgetting where you parked, except the car is a pawn shop. The frustration? Palpable. The comedy? Premium.
Dodgers pennant that I bought at an auction, and I noticed this signature on it.
Blue eyes, huh? He probably was a Dodgers fan.
Next through the door, a man holding a 1977 Dodgers World Series pennant with Frank Sinatra's signature on it. Yeah, old Blue Eyes meets Dodger Blue. Corey's skeptical but intrigued. Sinatra was famous for not signing autographs. His bodyguards practically tackled fans who tried. The seller's convinced it's real, saying Sinatra attended the games that year. Corey's immediate thought, this doesn't make sense. You can see the gears turning. Sinatra and baseball memorabilia. A strange but interesting crossover.
Kind of strange that he actually signed it. He was really known for not signing autographs. That if you ran up to him and asked for a signature, you...
The seller wants $750, which Corey finds steep considering the bizarre mashup. If you had Sinatra's set list or the Dodgers signatures, maybe, he says. Corey decides to call in an autograph expert because, let's face it, if Sinatra didn't sign love letters, why would he sign a pennant? The seller nervously agrees, fingers crossed. And just like that, we've got a classic Pawn Star setup. Hope, doubt, and a signature worth potentially hundreds, or absolutely nothing. Cue suspenseful jazz music.
I have a roll-up gate. Pull it inside.
I like it when people bring cars to the shop, because generally,
From Back to the Future.
Before the expert arrives, Corey heads outside and suddenly, it's like we've entered a sci-fi movie. A guy drives up in a DeLorean time machine replica from Back to the Future. Yep, complete with flux capacitor and glowing lights. Rick's eyes light up like he's 10 again. This is cooler than the Batmobile, Chumley blurts. The owner proudly says he spent 10 years building it. 10 years? That's dedication. Or obsession. Either way, this shop just became a time travel portal.
He's got a weird history. I mean, basically famous for designing some really cool cars. But then he goes off and starts his own car company.
The owner gives the full tour. Switches, glowing wires, Mr. Fusion made from a coffee grinder. It's a movie geek's dream. Rick's admiring it, but quickly gets practical. Does it drive? The owner hesitates. Big red flag. Rick's tone shifts from excited to cautious. Can we take it for a spin? He grins. The guy looks ready to faint. Apparently no one's ever driven it. Not even his mom. Oh, this is gonna be good. Time to test this movie magic.
Go back to the day Rick was conceived.
So what's all this back here?
Let me show you. A lot of these parts are made aluminum, which is made out of a coffee grinder.
They fire it up and roll out like it's 1985 again. Chumley's pressing random buttons like a toddler in a cockpit. Stop pressing things! Rick yells, panicking. The DeLorean sputters, smells like gas, and sounds like a dying blender. Chumley insists it still looks futuristic. Rick replies deadpan. Underneath is ancient technology. You can't write comedy this good. For all its movie glory, the thing drives like a steel brick. The dream meets reality in the most Rick Harrison way possible.
It looked like a movie car.
Yeah, it's really cool.
This thing looks pretty futuristic. This is some ancient technology.
All right.
Back in the lot, Rick gives his verdict. Looks amazing. Drives horribly. The owner wants close to 6 figures. Rick offers $10,000. That's what I'd pay for the flux capacitor, he jokes. The seller insists it's worth way more since it's a perfect replica. Rick compares it to Picasso. You have the original, and then you have Chumley's version. Brutal. No deal, just laughter. The seller leaves still in love with his time machine, and Rick's left happy he didn't time travel into bankruptcy.
A stock DeLorean that ran good and didn't have a lot of mechanical problems.
How many time machines have you ever seen? You gotta come up a little.
Meanwhile, Chumley's still on key duty. Rick, trying to solve the problem, gives him a key finder. It beeps when you whistle. You just know this is about to go wrong. Corey snatches it and hides Chum's keys somewhere in the shop, grinning. Rick walks away, muttering, "Supposed to be a pawn shop, not a playground." Oh, Rick, you've clearly never met your staff. The keys may be lost, but the comedy gold is found.
All you gotta do is whistle and it beeps. Here, try it. See, it works. So put your keys on that.
Back to the Sinatra pennant. The expert arrives and immediately confirms, yes, Frank Sinatra was a huge Dodgers fan and even sang the national anthem for them in 1977. He starts analyzing the ink under magnification and, boom, it's the real deal. Genuine signature, live ink, authentic pen strokes. Corey's jaw drops a little. Sinatra may have hated autographs, but apparently he made an exception for baseball. The seller's grin says it all. Jackpot potential.
Oh, wow.
All you gotta do is whistle and it beeps. See on that, no more excuses on losing your keys or anything else like that.
The expert values it around $600. Not bad, but not the fortune the seller dreamed of. Corey, of course, aims lower, offers $300. The seller counters $700. They go back and forth until they settle at $475. Corey wins again. And the seller? He paid $25 for it at auction. $25 to $475. Now that's a home run. You can tell even Corey respects that flip. Sinatra might have signed it, but profit sang louder.
I feel that Frank Sinatra signed this.
So it's still worth nothing, right?
The signature isn't as strong as I'd like to see it. It's about a 7 or an 8.
As things calm down, a man brings in something straight from the 1900s, a self-winding stock ticker machine. This thing looks like a steampunk typewriter had a baby with a clock. Rick's instantly fascinated. The seller says he bought it as decor but now wants $12,000 to $14,000. Rick laughs out loud. The guy's face falls. Rick explains it's cool, but not Edison-level rare. Still, the mini history lesson on early capitalism and ticker tape tech is peak Rick. Profitable education served vintage.
This was basically the first pay TV.
What do you mean first pay TV?
This was mass media into your house.
Rick offers $2,500 and the seller fires back with $3,500. Rick's classic move, meet in the middle, $3,000. Deal. Seller walks away thrilled after buying it for $30 originally. That's a 10,000% return. I wish the stock market were that easy, he chuckles. You know Rick's smiling too. Nothing beats flipping history. Meanwhile, Chumley's off somewhere still whistling for his keys. The man could lose a winning lottery ticket and not notice.
I will give you $2,500 for it. Well, what's enough? I'm gonna go 3.
The episode wraps up perfectly. Chumley finally finds the key, or rather, the helicopter toy attached to it. Rick catches him mid-flight, literally flying the key finder drone above the displays. Rick's about to blow a gasket. If I lose a sale because of this, you're dead. Chumley just shrugs, grinning. Rick storms off, muttering, "This is supposed to be a pawn shop, not a damn playground." And scene. Honestly, pure, unfiltered Pawn Stars chaos from start to finish.
Is that the key to the showcase? Is that my key?
No.
Give me the keys to the showcase.
Copter up there.
The episode kicks off with Rick trying to talk business while Chumley dreams of internet fame. Rick wants a billboard. Chum wants to go viral. Corey's rolling his eyes, Rick's confused, and Chumley's already posing for photos. Rick warns him not to waste the workday, and before you know it, Chum's snapping grumpy photos of the boss. Honestly, Rick's natural expression is grumpy cat energy. This is pure chaos disguised as marketing strategy. Welcome to the gold and silver pawn shop.
I think it's good advertisement for the shop. Really, a billboard? So they obviously work for some people.
Why don't you go viral?
First up, a man strolls in holding what looks like a relic from an art museum, a vellum sculpture by legendary actor Anthony Quinn. Rick's intrigued but skeptical. He admits it's definitely different, and maybe not beautiful, but it catches your attention, kind of like a Picasso that stared too long into the sun. The piece is called The Child, limited to 95 copies. The seller wants $5,500, and Rick's like, hold up, that's real Picasso money. Time to call in an expert.
How you doing? I got a limited edition vellum sculpture, Anthony Quinn.
That's actually pretty cool, but...
Rick's fascinated by Quinn's double life, an actor and a painter who started creating art as a kid. The man really lived the dream, Oscar-winning movie star by day, fine artist by night. Still, Rick doesn't bite on price until someone confirms the market value. I'll call my friend, he says. The seller agrees, cool as ever, waiting for his masterpiece to be validated. Gotta love these calm before the storm Pawn Stars moments. Right before the expert either makes or breaks a payday.
Anthony Quinn really loved Picasso. He striped. Anthony Quinn started painting when he was 6.
Cut to the next scene. Rick's eyes light up as someone wheels in a 1930s Gottlieb penny arcade grip tester. You know the type. Drop a coin, squeeze like your life depends on it, and find out if you're weak or strong. Rick loves the vintage charm, but the machine looks rougher than Chum after a Vegas weekend. The seller claims it works fine, so Rick tests it. Penny in, squeeze, ding. You're a man, the machine declares. Rick beams. Classic old school fun.
It's a 1930s penny arcade strength tester.
Cool. Are you strong or weak?
The seller wants $2,000. Rick fires back with $400. That's not a negotiation, that's an ambush. The guy pleads for $1,000. Rick coolly offers $500. The seller holds his ground at $700. But Rick being Rick, so you'll do $6, right? And wins. They shake hands on $600. Even the seller laughs, knowing Rick's charm is basically legalized robbery. Rick's already plotting a restoration, mumbling about calling Bob the magician of old machines. Somewhere, Bob just felt a disturbance in the force.
Okay.
Pretty good.
You got a penny?
Yep. I sure do.
And now you just squeeze it?
Yeah, give it a squeeze.
Now we're back to the Anthony Quinn art piece, and in comes Brett, the expert, who dives right into art history like a college professor with charisma. He explains how Quinn's art mimics sculptural form through pressed paper molds. Turns out this paper mache thing, as Rick called it, is exactly the kind of piece collectors love. It's not junk, it's art with texture and emotion. Even Rick looks impressed, which is saying something. The seller's grin just keeps getting wider.
Vellum sculpture by a Hollywood legend. I know his stuff sells really good, particular one's gonna sell for.
Brett values the piece at $3,000 to $4,000, confirming Quinn's work is museum quality stuff. The seller's thrilled, Rick's cautious. Negotiation time. Rick lowballs to $2,000, the seller fires back at $3,000, and they eventually settle at $2,100. Everyone's smiling, but let's be real, Rick's already picturing it on the wall behind the counter, bragging to tourists. That's an Anthony Quinn, he'll say, pretending it was his favorite deal of the week. You just know he's keeping that frame polished daily.
Paper mache-ish.
Actually, this is pretty into doing, and he was most renowned as a sculptor. Get that sculptural.
Next up, Bob the Restorer arrives to inspect Rick's latest toy, the 1930s grip tester. Bob's instantly in love, calling it rare and early. He notes the craftsmanship and nostalgic appeal, practically drooling over the 1-cent label. Rick asks what it'll cost to restore, and Bob estimates $600 to $700. Rick nods like, that's a bargain, knowing full well he's keeping it. Honestly, Rick's grin whenever Bob shows up is pure collector joy. It's like sending a kid to Disneyland with power tools.
So I called Bob down to see how much a restoration would cost. Aww, is this like the coolest ever?
Then a man brings in something fiery, a New York Fire Department badge from the 1800s. The story? His friend's grandmother had an affair with a fireman, and this badge came from the secret stash. Corey's fascinated and slightly disturbed. They discuss early firefighting chaos. No trucks, no safety gear, just brave volunteers and bucket brigades. It's equal parts history and scandal. The seller wants $500. Corey's intrigued but wants expert confirmation. Cue the call my buddy move again.
Doing good. What do we got?
I got something you're gonna want today. It's a fireman's pen from New York.
So you don't sound like you're from New York, my man. Where'd you get it?
Back to Rick. Bob's finished the grip tester restoration, and wow, it shines like a brand new penny. The graphics pop, the metal gleams, and even the 1-cent label looks fresh. Rick's jaw practically hits the floor. He tries it again, both hands naturally, and laughs like a kid. Bob charges $680, and Rick doesn't even argue. He's in love. This one's for me, he admits. You can tell he's keeping it in the shop as a conversation starter. Vintage dreams realized.
This is some of your best work, dude.
Give it a shot.
Not supposed to use 2 hands.
Well, it's a warm-up.
Corey's expert, Mark, finally shows up to examine the FDNY badge. He confirms it's the real deal, issued in 1865 and belonged to a man named Thomas McCain, a bachelor firefighter who literally lived in the firehouse. Talk about dedication. The seller's stunned as Mark lays out the history, proving it's authentic and well-preserved. Corey's impressed too, but you just know he's already calculating resale margins. It's historical gold, but sentimentality never trumps profit at the gold and silver.
It looks pretty
pretty old, but I have no idea. So I called up Mark to come down and take a look at it.
Badge you called me about. Well, do you mind if I...
Negotiation time. The seller's still dreaming of $500, but Corey hits him with $150. Ouch. How about $300? The man pleads. Corey shakes his head, offering $200. Final deal. You can almost hear the collective gasp of every retired firefighter watching at home. Still, the seller accepts, figuring it's Vegas money now. You've gotta love how Corey handles it. Firm, confident, and ready for the next challenge. Another relic of American history joins the shop's ever-growing museum of cool.
Even with all that great history behind, $150, man.
$150. I mean, this is the New York Fire Department, and it's a big deal.
Finally, we wrap where we began, with Chumley's viral ambitions. He's proudly announcing his memes, Pawn in My Sleep and Need Chicken Wings Now. Rick and Corey roast him mercilessly, then reveal their own Chum memes. I don't always work, but when I do, I'm napping. Chum's face turns pure betrayal. You guys suck, he yells as they laugh. Rick deadpans, don't worry, we didn't post them. It's pure Pawn Stars comedy gold, the perfect mix of family, trolling, and vintage mischief.
About to go viral with these. Need chicken wings now? I also got, I can pawn.
The episode opens with chaos right away. Chumley roasting Rick for getting hair plugs. Yup, you heard that right. Rick's trying to explain he's giving a college lecture on business, but the guys aren't buying it. Chumley's face says it all. This man, teaching? The burn level is already lethal. Rick swears it's about business, not baldness, but we're not convinced. Welcome to Pawn U, folks, where sarcasm is the core curriculum.
You got a consultation for hair plugs, don't you?
Rick said, come down to this.
Not getting hair plugs.
First customer of the day walks in with something classy, a first edition of Mark Twain's A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court. That's right, literature just entered the pawn shop. Rick lights up like a history nerd at Comic-Con. The seller never read it, not once. Bro's holding a literal American classic and says, nah, never seen the movie either. Rick's already mentally calculating how many Twains equal one payday.
I have Mark Twain that I'd like you to look at.
Yankee in King Arthur's Court. So have you ever read it?
No.
Rick dives into a Mark Twain TED Talk. Did you know Twain was technically born in Nevada? Yeah, Rick's claiming state rights now. Chuck's ancestor? Maybe. The seller's just nodding politely, probably wondering if he can sell the book faster. Rick's excitement is contagious though. He's geeking out about Hank the time-traveling engineer. Who needs Netflix when you've got Rick narrating 19th century sci-fi?
Mark Twain is born in Nevada, did you know that?
I did not. I would have thought he was the books that he wrote.
He was born in Missouri.
The seller wants $1,500. Not bad, if it's real. Rick calls in his book expert, Rebecca, the ultimate book nerd. And honestly, we stan her every time. The seller's fingers are crossed, probably praying this paperback is his golden ticket. Rick, on the other hand, just wants confirmation that it's not another antique-looking Barnes & Noble special. You could cut the anticipation with a bookmark.
Just so you know, books usually just have one copyright date.
Okay.
Made in 1889. They might make a whole run of them.
Cut to Chumley and the shop crew debating Chumley's professor status. Chumley's dropping his personal academic wisdom. He only aimed for C's, so no one expected more. Honestly, that's a galaxy brain strategy. The old man calls Chumley a nerd, and I swear, you can feel Chum getting roasted from across the state. Corey even jokes about Chumley eating lunch alone in school. This isn't Pawn Stars anymore. It's Comedy Central Roast College Edition.
It's just some school stuff, you know, checking to see if...
Must be nice.
It is.
Rebecca arrives, pregnant, glowing, and ready to educate. Rick greets her like she's Gandalf bringing knowledge from the library of Middle-earth. The seller awkwardly congratulates her. Rick states the obvious, and she instantly claps back with, glad you're here to state the obvious, Rick. Iconic. Before you know it, she's deep in book nerd mode, explaining Twain's satire, medieval nose-blowing logistics, and cultural humor. This is English class on steroids.
The guy brought in what he says is a first edition Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court, as Rebecca does. So I'm calling her down to help me out.
Rebecca starts breaking down the edition's state variations like it's CSI printing press, missing scrolls, dropped letters, mixed runs. My brain hurts. Rick's face is priceless. He's trying so hard to follow along, but you can tell he's mentally screaming. She calls it a mixed state, meaning parts are early prints and others late. Translation? It's first edition-ish. The seller looks hopeful, Rick looks relieved, and Rebecca still effortlessly smarter than everyone in the room.
And then you actually have travel essays that he was really famous. And what are your concerns?
Is it a first edition and what's it worth?
Right. Okay.
Rebecca values the book between $1,200 and $1,300. Not bad. She even says a pristine version would be worth a few grand more. Rick's grinning like a proud student who actually did his homework. The seller seems satisfied until the negotiation begins. Rick goes straight for the jugular, offers $700. Classic. Seller asks for more, and Rick hits him with that, "But you said trust me energy." Savage. Absolute savage.
Okay.
We call that a mixed state.
Early ones and the late ones get in this one.
Accident.
The seller finally caves. $700 it is. He's not thrilled, but he plays it cool, saying he just wants the book to go to a happy home. Translation, I just got out haggled on TV. Rick, meanwhile, looks like he just aced a final exam. Once again, the house wins. I mean, if confidence were currency, Rick's net worth just doubled.
Well, I started at 15. She says it's worth. I trust you. If you're interested in it.
Next, Rick trades his pawn counter for a podium. That's right, Professor Harrison takes the stage at a local college. He's dressed up, feeling fancy, and joking that the shop's world famous because it says so on the building. Gold! His lecture? Surprisingly inspiring. He talks about work ethic, failure, and reading every night. He's actually killing it. Somewhere in the back, a business major's thinking, forget the textbooks. I want this guy to teach full time.
I'm here at a local college. I got in on how to run a small business. I got my fancy clothes on and come on down, give it a shot.
When a student asks about failures, Rick opens up. Henry Ford went bankrupt before making it big, and he reminds everyone not to give up. It's oddly motivational. Meanwhile, I'm imagining Chumley in the audience asking, does this count for extra credit? Rick ends the talk proud, basking in the applause. For once, the man actually got through an entire speech without being interrupted by an old man insult.
We always hear about successes, but I've also heard that...
Oh, I've had tons of those. If you remember, Henry Ford went bankrupt.
Back at the shop, a doctor, psychiatrist to be exact, brings in antique bone drills. Yeah, you read that right. Corey's horrified, but intrigued. The doc says they were used to let evil spirits out. Bro, I just needed that sentence to end. Corey calls them freaky crap, and I agree 100%. Medical history is terrifying. He offers $1,200. They settle at $1,250, and honestly, the doc walks out way too calm for a guy who just sold human skull tools.
Equipment. All right, can we take a look at him? Sure. Drill set. Date's about 8. I'm wrong, but you're a doctor.
Last customer comes in with a 1953 Peter Pan animation cell, allegedly gifted by Walt Disney himself. It's cool. Tinkerbell, Lost Boys, the whole deal, but he wants $20,000. Chumley nearly chokes. The seller's story: Disney gave it to his dentist for fixing a toothache. Chumley's reaction: bro, what are the odds? I'm dying. He offers $500. Seller storms off. Another day, another dream crushed under Chum's savage one-liners.
We have a 1953 original Peter Pan.
This is pretty cool, man.
Big time.
We wrap up with Chumley clowning on Rick again, asking if anyone called him Professor Dick. I can't make this up. Rick proudly says the lecture went great, but Chumley can't stop roasting his turtleneck. It makes your head look like a zit. The shop's in hysterics, and Rick's just trying to keep his dignity intact. It's the perfect end. Laughter, sass, and the most legendary turtleneck in Pawn Stars history.
No one called me Professor Dick.
Spitwads hit you, or?
How many people fell asleep?
Everyone was really engaged.